Hello everyone. For tonight's topic, we're going to be talking about what I call the mystery of the gaps, or how superstitious belief likes to hide at the frontier of where science is exploring. Charlatans will use this so-called mystery surrounding highly technical concepts to come off as divinely inspired. The most popular versions of this fallacy is the God of the gaps, though we could call it the God is the hide-and-seek world champion fallacy. Not only does God apparently not want to show up for empirical testing, but the further away we get from these claims, the less people seem keen on coming back from the dead, or any other miracle claims from any other prophets of God. So instead of finding credible evidence for their claims, what believers of their respective faiths tend to do is look for ways to pigeonhole science, hoping with bated breath that if they can disprove a well-known scientific theory, that their God will have been proven and Santa will save Christmas. This is not how science works, nor would it show any connection to a deity. Thus, the topics I'm going to discuss only have a connection with theism because the theists themselves have taken stake in them. We'll start with evolution, since theists have spent millions of dollars funding both the creationist and intelligent design movement to counter the cornerstone of modern biology. This subject seems to cause the most confusion from six-day biblical literalists, heard screaming, "Are you telling me my mama is a monkey? No, little Johnny, we're apes. You're just one of the special apes that gets to ride on the short bus." This shouldn't even be on the list, because the theory of evolution is a framework of facts, meaning genes randomly mutate and the environment naturally selects for them. One of our most well-known theories in science, like germ theory of disease or the theory of gravity. That was, till lately. How exactly does a flat earther explain moving water not fall off a flat surface? Never mind. Some of our sophisticated theologians will try to use genetics to prove some sort of watchmaker argument. After all, if we're strolling on a beach and saw a watch, wouldn't we assume a watch has a watchmaker? Well, if a God made everything, then isn't every object in a universe their creation? The sand is a watch, the ocean is a watch, and the watch is a watch. Great. Now we have a watch on a bunch of watches next to a large watch. Sounds very watchable. However, it doesn't sound scientific. In fact, we separate the artificially created, like cars and trucks, from the naturally occurring, like tornadoes and your stepmom having a baby. Though, where life began is what they really want to talk about. Once we get to self-replicating molecules, we begin to talk about the origin of life, or what we call abiogenesis. Abiogenesis is the process by which non-life became life. An event, or more likely multiple gradual events, which took place over a period of time after the Earth began to form 4.5 billion years ago, are roughly the age of everyone's gym teacher. Now, most theists at this point are screaming that life cannot come from non-life, even when the Judeo-Christian mythos have us believe that this deity made life out of clay like Patrick Swayze in Ghost. However, like all claims, that would need to be demonstratable. Instead, there are plenty of reasons as to why life naturally arose on this planet. First of which being that the Earth, Moon, and Mars are all within a habitable band around the Sun which can sustain liquid water. We call this the circumstellar habitable zone because most of the universe has temperatures which are either on fire or more frozen than a Disney princess. This allows conscious creatures like us to exist on the face of the planet before the UV rays slowly burn us to death. Another controversial topic, since theists want to give consciousness some sort of special properties, so much so that their deity seems to wrap around the premise that there can even be thinking agents existing outside of time, space, and a physical brain. I'm gonna shortchange this line of thinking right now. Our bodies have a job for us to do, and it's collecting food. Anything else is up for us to decide, because getting rid of food and dragging us down to sleep comes naturally. And we're lucky to even get this life, even though nature sometimes throws us around like we're in a broken washing machine. Because in this small amount of time, we can make connections, give to charity, and annoy others. However, before I conclude, come with me to the beginning of the universe. We're starting to think deeply now, and we can see the vastness of the 13.5 billion years pass by us. Hubble was one of the first to take this journey, as he saw in his telescope that almost every object in the night sky shifts into a red frequency moving away from us. Thus we can travel this path of light billions of years back and back. So here we are now, at the Big Bang, and everything we know of was in a single point. Now many will ask, why did the universe start to expand? Well, we don't know. And we don't even know if it's possible to answer before the start of the universe, because that question would have to assume something before time and space. Now theists will go, aha! There could be a God hiding behind door number 2. Though I have another explanation for concepts existing outside space and time. Non-existence. If we've gotten this far, the theist is normally scrambling to challenge all of logic. This is where the presuppositionalists come in, who preach because they know they have no evidence. I mean, why is a hammer? Maybe I'm just a brain in a vat. Why should minds of fizzing soda care about morality? Nowhere in this gaggle of pseudoscience and mock philosophy have we ever even touched the subject of an all-powerful creator of the universe. If we're lucky to talk about miracle claims at all, a theist's standards of evidence drops to the depths so low that they reach their own hell. How does God exist? What is this God made of? What are the mechanisms of their powers? And that's before we even get into specific stories, like making women out of ribs, or drowning entire planets of people and starting over, like Yahweh's taking 2 on a director's cut. If Jesus is able to come back from the dead, then I'd like him to share his magical powers with the rest of us. Because the last I checked, there were still people somewhere on Earth getting their eyes eaten out by flesh-consuming viruses. Though everything is peachy, as long as we get to stuff our fat faces on Christo we stole this from pagans Miss Day. So, do the mysteries of the universe prove a God? No, but when we substitute a deity as the solution, we stifle our journey in finding any of the actual answers. Instead, we should refrain from holding belief until the preponderance of evidence for a claim is overwhelming. Thank you.